Okay, hi Ken. It ran out, but basically you got the basic idea that these kinds of relationship, the slave-master relationship or slave-servant and mistress relationships, are not to be warped, which the titles master and mistress have been completely warped by the secular world, which is something from the demons anyway, influenced. But those two titles have been completely warped, completely perverted, which is, ridiculous. That because of that, people have not used the original terms with honor, and I'm trying to bring the honor back to these original terms and what their original meanings are. This is part 2 of the other. You have to look at for the part 1 for this. I've had to do it in 2 parts, but basically this is part of my relationship video in a way, but it's the different relationship than most people think about, and it must be done again, just like family relationships. It's got to be done in very honorable ways, and it's an extremely intense, devoted relationship. It's about those who are in their nature, in their deep nature, the kind that like to serve, that like to please, and serve more than lead, and seem to have a natural talent or gift to do everything perfectly, as far as chores goes and things like that, because it's a gift. And so you balance that out with a proper leadership, proper mistress and master, and who will participate. They won't let everything done by the slave or servant, but they are more apt to be leadership, overseers of keeping a home organized, while all the little details are taken care of by those they have authority over, so that their minds are free to to take care of everything, but yet more like an overseer, more like making sure everything is done at the right time, at the right place, and just like a company. An efficient home is run like a company. If you have enough people in the home, and it has nothing to do with having a lot of money. You could simply, if you're going through some tough times, it's the loyalty of the servant-slave to stick around no matter what. And even if a simple glass of water, just like Christ, a simple glass of water is offered, if master and mistress accept it humbly, that is the right thing to do. And take care of their servants and slaves. The few these days, it depends on how many you can afford to support and look after. But when you go through tough times, the slave servants are not supposed to just up and quit on the masters just because of tough times. They're supposed to be loyal to, loyal. It's like loyal forever once they find out that they're meant to be together and form a very special relationship and be well loved from both sides of the equation. And it's a balance. And Jesus never came to abolish that. He never came to abolish the laws. He just came to fulfill them, and he said so. And it meant that so that you could live them right. You can live without hypocrisy, without lying and all that stuff. To live it in honor, just as any other relationship. You would live this relationship in the most honorable way possible and not pervert it, out of pure-hearted love in like any other relationship. So it's a very delicate relationship, but it's not something you can force on anybody. Must never be forced, manipulated, pressured into. It must be of free will, and you have to have a certain amount of service before you can make it a life service, which is 6-7 years at most before it can become a lifetime service relationship. To make that, I don't doubt that it's to make sure that that servant or slave is meant to be with the master mistress for life, or not, or it's somebody else they need to be under the leadership of. So, but it shouldn't be something where you bounce around all over the place, casually. It's not a casual relationship. It's a long-term relationship, a very committed relationship, as committed as marriage would be, and more so, because, and it doesn't have to have any of the intimate things involved as a marriage does. That's up to the individuals. What their particular relationship is like, it's between them. What their deal is between them, and it's the same thing with marriage. What their deal is, or any other relationship, that's that relationship, and it's nobody else's business to step in and say, well, you can't do that, you can't have that, you can't do this, and you can't do that. It's between the two or more involved in that relationship. Nobody else has the right. Again, this is very important. Nobody else has the right to tell you how to have your particular relationship, what to do, what you can't do. And if it's abusive, then, and it's obviously abusive, then that person that's being abused has to have the smarts to leave and not take the nonsense, just like any other relationship. You either command, even as a servant or slave, you either command respect, true love, true care, or you leave. And you don't put up with nonsense. You don't put up with the abuse, and you find help to leave if that's the case. But if it's not the case, then everything is great, then it's nobody else's business to go and say, well, you can't live that lifestyle. You can't be that way. I believe in the ancient ways done properly. I believe in it wholeheartedly in my heart in the ancient values, the proper ancient values, and there's nothing wrong with that. And God told me there's nothing wrong with that. Just be honorable and don't pervert it. So, which is what I've, always been like, and my husband and myself we believe in that. And so it's just a matter of living it the right way with Christ as the center of everybody's life in our home when we have that. And so anyway, that's like basically what I wanted to do. Bring honor to these titles. And it's not something you just do on a flims. It's something you have to think about it, whether you're ready to handle this kind of situation. It's from the heart. And it's something that takes years of practice as well. And that's also because of it takes years to learn, and the best way to learn is under another leadership, as an example, to show you how to do this right, which is another reason for the Queen Mistress, because it's a way, and it's King Master or Master King, but actually King Masters means a king of masters, of leaders. So that's about it. I hope you understand this. Thank you.